Good morning, guys. So today I am going to discuss about mean free path. Mean free path. So mean free path at a given temperature, the molecules suffer continuous collision with one another. So suppose there are a molecule, so they there is continuous collision with each other, okay, at a particular temperature. Between any two collision, suppose this collision and this collision, the molecules travel freely at a certain distance, okay. I am saying between any two collision, the molecule travels freely a certain distance in a straight line, like this. A straight line. This distance is known as a free path, okay. Thus the path covered by a gas molecule between any two consecutive collision in a straight line is called free path. The distance of the molecule is changed after every collision. Suppose this one, after every collision they will change their distance, they will change their direction, and after a number of the collisions, the total path appear to be zigzag, because all the molecule will collide and they will change the direction. So in that way their path appear to be zigzag, and the free path is not continuous, not constant. Therefore the term mean free path is used and is defined as the average distance traveled by a gas molecule between two successive collisions. The average distance traveled by a gas molecule between two successive collisions is known as a mean free path. Now I am going to derive the expression for the free path. Expression for the free path. Expression for mean free path. This is known as also Clausius expression. Clausius expression. Suppose molecules of a gas are all identical and perfectly elastic sphere, ऐसा हम assume कर रहे हैं, and each of the diameter, molecule का जो diameter है वो क्या है, sigma, and it is assumed that the molecule do not exert any force on each other. To simplify the calculation, we further assume that only the molecule under consideration is in the motion, while all the other molecules are in rest. और दूसरा assumption ये है, मान रहे हैं इसमें, the sphere of the influence of the molecule has a radius sigma. The sphere of the influence of the molecule has a radius sigma. तो कुछ इस हिसाब से ऐसा एज्यूम करिए कि ये एक तरीके से हम यहाँ पे एज्यूमिंग सिलेंडर, ओके, here and here, ये मॉलिक्यूल है, ठीक है। अब ये जो मॉलिक्यूल है ये है, इसका एरिया है, और ये जो है यहाँ से इसके सेंटर से मान लिया जाए, हाँ, ये आपका क्या है, ये आपका सिग्मा है, और ये आपका जो है ये सिग्मा है। ये जो आपको रिप्रेजेंट किया जा रहा है यहाँ पे कोलिजन क्रॉस सेक्शन है, क्रॉस सेक्शन, ओके। सो लेट, हम यहां पे एज्यूम कर रहे हैं, लेट, ओके, लेट सी be the average velocity of molecule A, ठीक है, ये मॉलिक्यूल ए है, एंड ये मॉलिक्यूल ए है, और ये क्रॉस सेक्शनल, कोलिजन क्रॉस सेक्शनल है, और ये जो है सिग्मा जो है वो डायमीटर है, एंड एन बी द नंबर ऑफ molecules per unit volume, okay, then in 1 second, A, molecule A will collide with all the molecules whose centers lies within a cylinder within the cylinder of radius sigma, now I can delete within the radius sigma within the radius sigma and length सिलेंडर का जो है कितना हो जाए c पर सेकेंड, ठीक है। वेलोसिटी यदि उसकी c है तो 1 सेकेंड में लेंथ हो जाएगा l। सो नंबर ऑफ molecules इन सिलेंडर, तो नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल इन सिलेंडर कितना हो जाएगा, एरिया पाई सिग्मा स्क्वायर, सिग्मा जहाँ पर रेडियस है मॉलिक्यूल का, लेंथ क्या हुआ सी, नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल लेंथ हो जाएगा आपका n. Now the number of collisions made by molecule A in 1 second will be equal to pi sigma square Cn. Therefore, one collision takes place in 1 by pi sigma square Cn seconds. Now the time interval between two successive collision will be equal to 1 upon pi sigma square Cn seconds. Therefore, the distance traveled between two successive collisions will be equal to how much? Speed into time. Speed was c and time was 1 upon pi sigma square Cn. तो c कैंसिल हो जाएगा, it will be equal to pi sigma square n. So now I can delete this again. After deleting so in last we got an expression, and we can also write that expression as a mean free path represented by lambda will be equal to 1 upon pi sigma square n, and this expression is known as Clausius expression for mean free path. This expression is not exact because it is based on the assumption that only one molecule under the consideration is in the motion. यहाँ पर हम लोगों ने assume किया कि one molecule ही motion में है and all others are at rest. If the motion of all the molecules is taken into the account, the Maxwell's law of distribution of molecular velocities is applied, which must hold in steady state. So the corrected formula for the mean free path will be lambda will be equal to 1 upon under root 2 pi sigma square n. जैसा कि मैंने बताया कि ये ऊपर वाला एक्सप्रेशन जो आया है, इसमें ये एज्यूम किया गया है कि एक ही मॉलिक्यूल जो है मोशन में है, जबकि और मॉलिक्यूल जो है वो रेस्ट में है। क्योंकि रियलिटी में ऐसा होता नहीं है, सभी मॉलिक्यूल मोशन में होते हैं। उस सिचुएशन में मैक्सवेल लॉ ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन अप्लाई किया गया और उस बेस पर जो इसका तो करेक्शन फैक्टर एक निकाला गया, लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू 1/√2 पाई सिग्मा स्क्वायर। इसलिए इस एक्सप्रेशन को समटाइम्स वी आल्सो कॉल मैक्सवेल्स फार्मूला और मीन फ्री पाथ। ओके, ये एक्सप्रेशन है इसका। नाउ अब हम लोग इसी फार्मूले की सहायता से वेरिएशन ऑफ वेरिएशन ऑफ मीन फ्री पाथ विथ टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर का एक्सप्रेशन हम लोग डिराइव करेंगे। So consider 1 mole of an ideal gas, then we know that PV is equal to RT, and dividing both sides by capital N, and capital N is the Avogadro number, then we know that PV by N is equal to RT by N. This implies that P is equal to N by V, okay, into R by N into T. So this can be written as N K T. We know that this is equal to K and this is equal to small n. R n is equal to P by KT. So we can put this n in the above expression, then lambda will be equal to 1 upon, in this expression, pi sigma square n, and it will be equal to KT by √2 pi sigma square P. Okay. So thus the mean free path varies directly. This mean free path varies directly with temperature and inversely with 1 by P. Okay. Now guys, now we will discuss transport phenomena. In this transport phenomena, we can discuss the viscosity or transport of the momentum. So in this expression guys, as we know that according to the kinetic theory of the gases, the molecules of a gas are in a state of the thermal agitation. The gas therefore attains a steady state or equilibrium state by transporting momentum, heat, or you can say thermal energy, and mass from one layer of a gas to another layer, and giving rise to viscosity, conductivity, and diffusion respectively, and the phenomena is called transport phenomena. The transport phenomena occurs only in non-equilibrium state of the gas. So first I will discuss viscosity through the transport of the momentum. Viscosity transport of momentum. So guys, the different layer of a non-equilibrium gas may have different velocities, and this will result in the relative motion of the different layers with respect to one another. In such a case, the layer moving faster with impart momentum to the layer moving slower to bring about an equilibrium state. Thus, the transport of the momentum giving rise to the phenomena of viscosity. So here, consider a gas. Let's first make a figure, then it will be more easy. So first you make, then I will explain. This is E, this is A, this is C, and this is lambda, and this is again lambda, okay, and this is V, and this is D, and this is V minus dV by dz into lambda. First you write, then I will explain later. D, and this is F, and here it will be V plus dV by dz into lambda. Okay. So guys, here if you see the figure, then you can understand. Here consider a gas flowing over a horizontal surface, okay, over a horizontal surface, from left to right. From left to right. So and you suppose this is Z and this is O, and this is X. Okay. So guys, here again consider a gas flowing over a horizontal surface OX. This OX from left to right. The velocity of the layer in contact with the surface OX, this one OX, is 0 and goes on increasing along OZ. As we are moving from this one, velocity is start increasing at a uniform rate dV by dz, and known as, this is known as dV by dz is known as velocity gradient. So here guys, consider a layer AB. Consider a layer AB moving with a velocity v and situated at a distance z, and situated at a distance z from O, and all the molecule in this layer having the same drift velocity. And consider two more layer EF, upper one EF, and another layer CD, below one, just above and below AB respectively, and at a distance kitna z equal to the mean free path of the molecule, so that the molecule moving vertically up or down do not suffer any collision while moving between the two layers. Therefore, the velocity of the gas in a layer EF, how much it will be? So first I need to delete, first delete this one. The velocity of the gas in the layer EF, velocity will be V plus dV by dz. This is velocity gradient into lambda. Lambda is the distance, and the velocity of the gas in the layer CD will be equal to V minus dV by dz into lambda. But due to the thermal agitation, the gas molecule are moving in all directions. Thus, the average number of the molecule along any one, either positive or negative axis, will be 1/6 of the total number of the molecule in the gas, because this is kind of cubical. Let small n be the number of the molecule per volume, and small m be the mass of the mass of the gas molecule, and small c is the average velocity of the gas. Small c be the average velocity of a molecule at a given temperature of the gas. Then the number of molecules, passing downwards from EF to CD, means top to bottom, per unit area of the AB, AB in 1 second will be how much? Number of molecules passing downwards, passing downwards from EF to CD, per unit area of AB in 1 second in the gas will be equal to NC/6. Therefore, forwarding momentum loss per unit area per second by the layer EF check in the figure, then it will be m is the mass, okay, into NC by 6 into V plus dV by dz into lambda. In the similar way, the number of molecule passing upwards from CD to EF per unit area of the layer AB in 1 second is also will be equal to how much? NC/6. Therefore, forwarding momentum gained per unit area per second by the layer EF okay, it will be equal to how much? M into NC/6 into V into dV by dz into lambda. Therefore, the net loss in momentum. Therefore, net momentum loss by EF per unit area per second will be equal to mnc by 6 v plus dv by dz into lambda minus v minus dvz by dz into lambda, and then it will be equal to this part will be cancelled and it will be double up because this is in minus minus, it will be added, so it will be equal to 1 by 3 mnc lambda dv by dz. Okay. Now I can delete again this part. The layer CD, if you see in the figure, layer CD below AB gain the same amount of momentum, hence the layer EF above AB tends to accelerate its motion, and the layer CD below AB tends to retard its motion. Check in the figure, then it will be clear. Therefore, the backward dragging force per unit area, therefore the backward dragging force per unit area will be equal to gain or loss of momentum per unit area per second. F, this is dragging force, F will be equal to 1 by 3 mn c lambda dv by dz, and this must be equal to the viscous or tangential force acting per unit area of the layer AB. Okay. And eta, now here I am going to represent one thing. Eta will be the coefficient of viscosity of the gas. So here again pay your attention. This force F, what I have calculated here, F is equal to 1 by 3 mnc lambda dv by dz, and this force F must be equal to the viscous force, and this viscous force will be equal to eta dv by dz. This force must be equal to the viscous force or tangential force that is represented by eta dv by dz. Because of this force, it will be जो लेयर दो एक दूसरे के बीच में होता है, वो जो ड्रैग करता है एक लेयर दूसरे लेयर से, वो होता है विस्कस फोर्स, एंड दिस फोर्स मस्ट बी इक्वल टू ईटा डीवी बाई डी जेड. सो यदि ऊपर वाली लेयर जो है से नीचे वाली लेयर जो होती है उसका जो स्पीड होता है, जो स्लो होता है, वो वेलोसिटी ग्रेडियंट है. ईटा जो है आपका ये है viscosity coefficient. So this force must be equal to the Viscous or tangential force, and it is represented by eta dV by dz, and it must be equal to 1 by 3 mn c lambda dV by dz. तो इससे आपको मिलेगा eta will be equal to 1 by 3 mn c lambda. This can be also written as 1 by 3 rho, ये वाला टर्म हुआ रो सी लैम्डा, ये हुआ आपका ईटा. जहां पे रो क्या है, रो इज इक्वल टू एम. ओके, now here I am going to discuss the effect of temperature on eta. Here if you see this expression, the density rho of the gas decreases with increase in the temperature, but lambda, the mean free path, increases in the same proportional, so that rho lambda remain constant. Since the average molecular speed c is directly proportional to the square root of its absolute temperature T, therefore the coefficient of the viscosity eta will also proportional to under root T. I mean here this c is proportional to 1 by under root T. If you put this value here, this means that your eta will be also proportional to under root T. In other words, the coefficient of viscosity of a gas increases with increase in the temperature. Now, the effect of the pressure on eta. The density rho of a gas increases with increase in the pressure, but lambda, the mean free path, decreases in the same proportional, so that lambda rho remain constant. Moreover, the average molecular speed c is independent of the pressure. Thus, using the relation eta is equal to 1 by 3 rho c lambda, the eta, the coefficient of viscosity, is independent of the pressure. So in this case eta will be independent of the pressure. Now I need to derive one more expression, that is the thermal conductivity, the transport of the thermal energy. So that part I will discuss in next class. Till then, bye bye.